There's a lot of pressure on old men. Good morning. This is time and place for the Water and Sewer Committee. And present today, we have Councilman Justin Schuyler. We have appointed official Troy Kruger and Finance Officer Chandra Phillips. And we have the Water and Sewer Supervisor, Mark Labrick. And Troy or Mark, whoever wants to take off, go right ahead.
Mr. Mayor's texting me. So, he thought I was gonna have Tripp County Water in here today. Water and sewer, and I guess looking at the financials, water, Mark, today, our water department to date has generated about $101,000, so it's 18% or 13%, almost 14% of its projected revenues. As you guys are aware, we're working hard on the water meters. We're kind of shooting for end of April to be wrapping up with the water meters. They're going in. The radios are going in fast, but we're finding, like, here in the last couple of weeks, we've almost every head that we come across is dead. So, to put that into perspective, I think your water, I mean, this is just my opinion based on what we're seeing on the numbers, but the water revenues are gonna increase by, I would say, like minimum 15%. So, we got to get that project done. We're unable to read, a lot of these meters aren't reading, so what are we about? Getting close to 900?
Yeah, pretty close. We should be, at the end of this week, we should be at 900 overnight.
End goal's like just shy of 15. So, oh, with the commercial meters, it's more than that. We still are waiting for some commercial, our 1.5 and 2 inch are still, the supply chain is still slow. Have we received any of those yet, Mark?
No.
So we've got a bunch of those on order. The first go round when they did the water meters, we didn't do the commercial side. So we're catching those this time. So that's more meters to install. Sewer, just gonna reflect water, but to date sewer 78, 553, 18% of projected budget. He spent %, almost identical to what he's made.
Actually, I spent 8%.
Nope, that's the wrong number. Seven, 8% of his sewer budget and 12% of his water budget so far. So he did have to purchase a couple items, and Mark brought those today. He had to get some, so we purchased our project for this year. Our water mains that we're going to tear out and replace. 8th Street and
It's road on there.
Yep. East 8th Street, one block.
1 block 8th Street,
What, between what street and what street do you know?
2.5 blocks of Washington.
It's gonna be between Truman Street and Eisenhower Street,
Truman and Eisenhower? And how about Washington, is that the whole?
between 4th and 6th. It's gonna go a little further north than 4th, about a half a block.
Okay.
Then he also bought some kits to repair fire hydrants, because people keep running into our fire hydrants.
That's a whole new fire hydrant. Troy.
Yeah.
Nothing's been purchased yet, just waiting for a yes or no,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Does it have to go through full council?
No.
No, the only thing that Mr. Jensen has recommended, and I agree with him, is that on that water hydrant, ultimately a letter, whether from you or Troy, preferably Core and Main, but even if you guys can write a justification letter that says, this is what all of our hydrants are in the city of Winter, this is the tools that we have for it, it would not be fiscally responsible to buy a different type of hydrant.
Core and Main's not gonna write that letter.
Well, you can,
I can write it.
yeah,
They're not gonna write that letter.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need something in the file so that the auditors can look at it and see that we have been provided with justification on why it's not being bid.
I have been working on Mark's budget, water budget a little bit. I guess there's come up during budgeting season this year, but we have a lease on that John Deere backhoe with the side shift. It was purchased through the water department. It's used primarily by the cemetery. Mark uses it, we use it for snow removal, but we use it to dig 100% of our graves, and they've been, this time of year, they're the only ones that use it. So that's something we can address during budgeting season, but the buyout on that is actually in December of this year, but I've gotten approval from RDO to make the purchase after the first of the year, which is the agreement that we had when we leased the machine, so they're fine going into the 2025, but that's something to make note of, that it's kind of an odd deal. I don't know why John Deere didn't get behind that. I mean, it's been a really, really good piece of equipment for the city of Winter when it comes to the cemetery, and just that ability to side shift the boom on that thing has allowed them to do, dig graves that otherwise they would have,
Not so useful with water mains departments?
we use it on our projects and stuff too, but I think I have that paperwork on my desk. The buyout on that backhoe is like 70-some thousand, 71,000 or something like that, but
71,218, you actually have it budgeted for in this year
Yeah.
to buy it out.
they don't make,
Under your equipment line, that's the buyout right there.
they don't make that backhoe anymore, so I was just, nobody makes one anymore, the side shift. It just didn't catch on in the United States. It's kind of a European thing, I guess, with their smaller cities and their narrower streets and all that kind of stuff, but John Deere just has not promoted it in the United States, and so they've discontinued making them. But they guarantee me that they're gonna carry parts for it for 10 years, so. I mean, I know, I haven't really talked to Marty about it, but I'm guessing if I talked to Marty, that told him I was gonna take away his backhoe, he'd be, no, you can't do that. So, that's coming up. Other than that, I really don't have much. I mean, we're just day to day, all the water department's getting done. It's Matt and Ricky have been going to classes.
Yeah, they were, last week they were at classes. Tomorrow there's another one they're going to in Tacoma.
Any steps on them?
We haven't heard back from their testing if they passed yet or not, but there'll probably be steps there, hopefully for both of them.
For one step, you think in each?
Yeah.
We've, Mark's been down a guy in water and sewer for over a year and a half now. And he had an interview last Friday, so it sounds like we might finally have a new hire in that department. That'll be huge.
And when are we starting the replacement of the water main?
Don't know for sure.
Neither of those streets are on the, we'll do it before fall, so we can get it, get the A Street fixed. A Street's behind the curb too, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're both behind the curb, so
Okay.
as far as, you know, tearing the street out and putting the street back together, it shouldn't be an issue. We might have some gutter work up on A Street. I know Washington sits, you know, well behind the curb. We won't have to disturb the street. But A Street, I think the main hugs the curb a little closer, so we may have a little curb and gutter to repair there, but it's just a block. We could probably move it over. There's only one connection going to the north, that's Superfoods.
and two.
So it wouldn't be that big of a deal to move that main a little further into away from the curb and just leave the other one in place. There's not that many taps off that main, so.
Right. Only three off that.
The big push right now is meters, so we won't attempt either one of those projects till we're done with the meters.
Okay.
That's all I got. You got anything, Mark?
Oh, that was it.
No questions here.
Okay.
Short and sweet.